Welcome back to Shut Up and Watch the Movie. I'm Tyson.
And I'm Kristina.
And this is a podcast where we force each other to watch movies the other one has not seen. This week we watched Evil Dead 2013, the remake, per my request.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Now, what had you known about this movie before we watched it?
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing?
No, I didn't know.
You seen any other Evil Dead films?
No. You have a poster in our living room of the Evil Dead? It's not this one, right?
The original.
It's a cool poster.
It is a cool poster. That's why I own it.
I genuinely knew nothing.
Let's talk about Evil Dead as a concept for a second.
Actually, because you should explain why you chose this one as opposed to the original.
Well, maybe controversial thing to say to any Evil Dead heads out there. I don't know if that's what you're called, but basically, I think Evil Dead 2013 is probably one, the best entry point into watching the franchise, and two, probably the best one out of all of them.
How many movies are there?
There are 5.
Oh, okay.
So
and there's Sam Raimi, right?
Yes.
I do like Sam Raimi though.
So yeah, he did
Big
the
Spider-Man
Evil Dead.
fan.
Yes, his Spider-Man trilogy is amazing.
It's great.
Because he's just a good director, and he's wacky with the camera. I love Evil Dead 2. That's the cult classic. Everyone loves it. However, if you're looking for a good movie that excels at the gore and also has a compelling story, I think Evil Dead 2013 is probably your best bet, followed by Evil Dead Rise. I mean, just modern audiences
certainly
probably...
a lot of gore.
Modern audiences probably are going to be easier to kind of settle into the new ones.
Okay.
But no, I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. I like all the movies, liking Army of Darkness the least, just because it's not really kind of in the same vein as the rest of them.
Right.
Just because it's like a medieval adventure.
Yeah, I've always said that.
Yeah. When we have these complex conversations about the Evil Dead franchise logistics.
Seen, yeah.
So yeah, this one's just really serious and it's really intense, and I thought it was really gonna fuck you guys up because it's got some.
We were all screaming.
It's
at
got
the
some
TV.
pretty
I was
rough
definitely.
parts.
I covered my eyes.
It's definitely got some really rough parts.
I peek through them. I do still watch, but I do like that little.
Yeah, the little look.
I do the little oh no.
That's
hiding behind my face.
It's a good movie when that happens. I never get that feeling anymore.
I mean it. Well, that's concerning.
Probably because I watched stuff like this.
That happened a lot. Yeah, I did that quite a few times.
No, I was just like, ha, classic. Woman's cutting her arm off, and it's like, ha, of course she'd do that.
No, that made me squirm. Okay.
As she should. I guess we'll do what we did last week, and we're kind of gonna go through the plot and talk about it as we kind of go through it.
Yep.
Do you remember how the movie starts?
Yes, because right off the bat I have a problem.
Okay.
So, well, actually, it's more a question, because you might be able to,
Sure, okay.
Maybe we can clear this up. Because this is in a franchise, the movie starts off with this girl, and she's in the forest, and then they kidnap her, and then they're in a basement.
If you're gonna ask if this is related to anything else, it's not.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. So this is not related to because this series of events that I'm explaining right now is not related to anything else. I mean, I guess the girl is possessed by a demon, and that's the demon that ends up being the antagonist of the movie or whatever. But these people are just totally I thought maybe that's a reference from.
No, it's not a reference. Past. I can tell you what they did. So basically, it's a girl walking the forest, and then she gets grabbed by this gang of hillbillies, and then. They burn her at the stake at the bottom of the cabin.
Because her dad's there, and he's like, "You killed your mom," and then she's demon mode.
Yeah, she's demon mode. I can tell you why they did this. It's because if you watch a lot of horror movies like I do, you kind of see the pattern. A lot of modern horror movies now kind of have to have a teaser scene or a tone setting scene at the beginning.
I guess, but I just wish it connected somehow.
Yeah, I know, but there's not really a way. I don't love the opening. You probably could have done without it, but I think in a lot of Hollywood scripts now, you kind of have to make sure you're watching a horror movie before because after it, then there's
I get
20-minute stretch
I just wish it was not there if it wasn't connected.
Was it?
But I'm also about to be a little overly critical of the film.
A little overly critical? Did you find it scary, the opening? They burned her at the stake. She's like, I'm burning. Did she say that? No, she didn't say that.
I feel out of the few horror movies I've seen, that was pretty typical. It kind of reminded me of The Conjuring, but that's really only because I've only seen a few number of horror movies, and that just is what it reminded me of.
Did it put you in a false sense of security for the rest of it?
The opening?
Yeah, because it's this isn't that bad. So then when...
No, I don't think so. I knew it was going to get worse.
Okay. I think it's kind of interesting, because I feel like they're kind of not playing all their cards right away.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, though.
All right.
I don't think they should.
So
okay.
then we get to our actual main cast of characters.
Sorry, the beginning, I mean, it's a horror movie, so, like, typically it is slow, but, like...
Yeah.
Like, I was a little unsure at the beginning of this movie, because...
you gotta stick with it. You gotta stick with it.
This group of 5 people, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember any of the characters' names, but I did come up with a list of nicknames. So
Okay.
I'm gonna read them off and explain. So, we have our main character, Boy. He is like a loaf of bread. Like, I don't know anything about his personality. He's there. But he's our protagonist, so I'm calling him Boy. He arrives with his girlfriend, who I'm calling Pumpkin Spice. She's giving...
Makes sense.
This is 2013. She's giving Christian Girl Autumn. I was thinking about naming her Red Taylor's version, but technically it wasn't Taylor's version yet. So, sticking with Pumpkin Spice. She's there. Also, personality of a piece of bread. Don't know anything about her throughout the movie. They get there, and they meet up with the doctor character, who... I wrote down Doc McStuffins. I don't know.
I don't know if she's is she like a doctor? Is she?
She is, because she's like because Pumpkin
EMT?
Spice is like, oh, you're a nurse, right? And then she's like, no, I'm a doctor.
Because
And
she's a
it's like,
strong woman.
Whoa, she's a strong, powerful
I
woman.
wasn't ever gonna insinuate that she was a nurse. I live in 2024.
Sure. Okay, whatever you say, Tyson. But anyway, Pumpkin Spice thinks she's a nurse, and she's like, no, I'm a doctor. Like, okay, go off, I guess. And she's there, the doctor is there with Four Eyes, who, oh my
Four
God.
Eyes. Okay.
This man, the second I saw him, you were like, oh yeah, you guys aren't gonna like him. And I was like, yeah, the second I saw this man, I clocked him, and I was like, he's annoying. I do not like him. Do not trust him. No. Four Eyes, he has this long hair. He's supposed to be a high school teacher. No way. No, he's like a creepy. I feel like he's
What, you
creeping on the
don't you don't
students.
think
Like,
he's interesting and cool and mysterious?
No. Absolutely not. Don't like him.
I don't think
Anyway,
a lot of people like him.
Yeah, because he causes every single problem in the movie.
Do you think the movie knows that though?
Yeah.
Because I feel like the movie knows it, but at the same time, maybe
Because
they
we'll
didn't
get
realize.
to it, but yeah, the movie kind of beats him up, which is great. So yeah, Boy and Pumpkin Spice get there. They see the doctor and Four Eyes, and they're all catching up. And apparently Boy's sister, the reason they're all at this cabin in the woods is that Boy's sister is trying to kick her drug addiction. And their plan is to stay in the cabin for 3 days, I think, so that she can get rid of her...
detox and...
Yeah. Basically, like, stop taking drugs.
Get the withdrawal system out of her.
Exactly, yeah. The sister, I also don't know her name.
Jane Levy's character.
Yes, she's awesome. Fantastic actress, by the way.
Mia
because I
her
feel
name.
like all the other actors in the movie were kind of but like she was incredible. Good
She
for
is
her.
good. She
Her
is
name's
really good in
Mia.
this. Yeah,
that's
Mia.
better because I had Walmart Kristen Stewart, but then I was like, no,
I don't think that's fair.
And that's not fair to either of them. I feel like she just because I thought she kind of looked like Kristen Stewart. That's the only reason why I had that.
I guess.
But I don't think that's fair to either of them, honestly. So if her name's Mia, I'll actually call her Mia because she was great.
Yes,
she did a great
she
job.
does really
so
good.
she deserves to get called her name. Boy, they go talk. Oh, there's a dog named Grandpa, and I was really confused for a second because I thought they were
You
like...
thought there was a grandpa
I
in the
thought they were
mix?
calling it Grandpa, and I think that's maybe also why I thought she looked like Kristen Stewart, because I was like, is that a werewolf? Like, is this a Twilight movie? What's going on?
It's just a dog.
I didn't know that. I was confused because the dog's name was Grandpa, and I feel like that's a weird name for a dog. And she was like, hey, Grandpa. And I was like...
What? Is that not a kick-ass name for a dog? Grandpa?
I don't have
would
a
you
problem
name a
with it.
dog?
I was just a little confused. Not Grandpa, probably. I don't know. It depends on the dog. Anyway, so that's our main cast of characters, right? So he goes and catches up with her. I guess the brother and the sister kind of have a complicated relationship.
Yes, because he wasn't there when their mom
Died?
passed away from like dementia or like late stage Alzheimer's or something.
Is it? I will say, is it clear what she had?
Yeah, but she was like out of it at the end.
She was
not
calling
calling
doing very
Mia.
well,
The guy's
the
name
boy.
David. Yeah.
Yeah. So they have a kind of a complicated relationship, but he's there.
Plus,
he wants
she's
to help
also
her
addicted
kick
to
drug
heroin.
addiction.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't realize. I
know
it was drugs. I
Well,
didn't know.
there are only a certain amount of drugs that like require a. Look, I'm
So
not a
true.
drug expert. I'm just saying.
Whatever
like,
you say.
It sounds like heroin.
It does. Also, I just need to point out when I was saying the first like 15 minutes of the movie are rough, the exposition dump that's happening in the first like 15 minutes. They pull up and they're like, look, there's my friend. He's a high school teacher. And then it's the whole little commentary with, I'm not a nurse, I'm a doctor. And then also we go over, it was just, I was like rolling my eyes a little bit.
It takes a minute.
It was not good.
It does take a minute.
Also, the brother and the sister, very much siblings or dating vibes. Like, What did he say? He goes up to her and he's like, "You look so beautiful."
You're always beautiful.
What?
Look, I don't have a sister.
I have a brother, and I would be so concerned if, like, the first thing, I saw him, like, we give each other a hug, if he was like, "You look really beautiful," I'd be like, "Ew, like, what are you talking?"
You know, that's just siblings
not.
connecting.
No, it's not.
And having a loving relationship.
My brother and I have a loving relationship, and I don't. Not in a mean. I feel like that sounds mean to be like, he's never called me beautiful. I don't like. No, that's just like not what a sibling
like
relationship.
half coming on to you.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it should be. Ugh. Anyway.
Okay.
Just right off the bat, that's the vibe that the brother and the sister are giving, and it was like, okay, what's going on there? So yeah, they're all there. They go in the house. Mia, I guess, starts feeling some of the withdrawals, and so she starts saying that she smells something. Everyone's like, it's just your withdrawals. But then in the living room, they pull back the rug and find out, oh my gosh, there's a bunch of blood.
There's like a cellar door.
And there's a cellar door. So they go down in the cellar, and it's the same cellar that at the very beginning of the movie that the girl got burned in.
The girl got burned in.
So and there's like a bunch of like dead cats.
Yeah, they got a bunch of dead cats hanging from the top.
From the ceiling. And they're all just
Four Eyes is like, it smells like burnt hair. Look, he's awesome. He's giving me sensory experience because now I can imagine burnt hair or whatever.
That's so gross. That's so disturbing.
They go down there.
If you want to smell.
At what point would you have noped out of there already if you were living in this cabin? If I saw
the cellar door and then like it had that big streak of blood coming out of it, that's enough for me.
You're already done.
Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, or even if we were like, rust? Okay. I feel like it'd be obvious that it wasn't rust or paint. But even if you go down there and I see a bunch of dead animals hanging from the ceiling, like, strategically, like, not just like, no, I'd be like, we're gonna get out of here. Not even because, like, of a demonic type of thing. I'm like, there is someone here doing something that I don't want to be a part of.
Your friend's drug addiction. Is that not the most important thing? Is helping her get
you know what my concern with the doctor is that I'm a doctor. Why aren't you taking your friend to like a rehab facility?
No, she said this is the exact same treatment she would have gotten in a hospital.
She does say that later, and I'm like, that's so not true because in a hospital she would not have been possessed by a demon. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So they go in the basement.
Yes.
Four Eyes. He finds a book down there that's literally shut with barbed wire.
Book.
And he's like, oh, I'll just take this upstairs. He gets wire cutters. He cuts it open. Then he starts looking through. This book is like literally made out of skin. And he starts looking through the book. And of course, there's like all this demonic stuff in it.
It's the Book of the Dead.
It literally says, like, don't read this. Like, turn around, turn away. And then there's a specific page he gets to that's like, don't think, don't read, don't speak.
Yes.
And the incantation or whatever is scribbled out.
It is scribbled out.
It's this man goes out of his way to like get a piece of paper and try and figure out
not awesome, though?
What it says.
And then he's ignoring every single sign.
Yeah, no, like because here's the thing. This was another debate we had within our apartment: is if you found this book, what would you do? If it was barbed wire, I'm not going through all the trouble of opening. Like I just wouldn't care that much.
Okay.
If it was the barbed wire wasn't on it, I might open it, I might flip through it, and then I'll be like, okay, that's enough of that. I wouldn't go out of my way to to decode what the message says and then read it out loud. Oh my, like classic dumb horror movie person.
But he's a high school teacher. He's in it for discovery. He's in it for the scientific knowledge he's going to gain when reading the Book of the Dead. The Necronomicon.
I don't want to think about him as a high school teacher. That makes me lose faith in the public school education system. Okay, no, not okay. The fact that he went out of his way.
What genre of teaching do you think he teaches? Like science? English? Okay, I actually do get major English teacher vibes from him. Because the English teachers are always the ones that are like...
English teachers are usually chill. I feel like part of me wants to say history. Because I feel like history teachers are usually really hit or miss.
But then you think he would have better sense than to mess with it.
You're the one defending him.
Look, I don't know. I think this guy's awesome because of
how... I think he teaches, like, AP Psych. Like, that's a good
read.
There we go.
A good read.
Yeah.
So...
Some AP class that's, like, really niche.
He reads
geography.
It. He reads it.
He reads it out loud. He says whatever the words are.
Do you want me to read out the incantation?
No, I don't want you to do that.
What if I summon the demon right here?
Like, okay, I don't believe in that, but also don't do it.
I won't do it.
Okay. So he reads the incantation. There's an evil spirit now.
And it possesses her, and she's walking outside, like, and she's like
she's already like feeling some withdrawals at this point, so she's like not well. She's not like too bad yet, but she's not well. So she's outside, and she's like, oh my god, like I need to. She starts seeing stuff, right? Yeah. Because then she starts seeing stuff, and so she goes to her friends and her brother, and she's like, I need to leave. And they're all like, we're not going to let you leave. Like, you need to kick this drug addiction. And she's like, no, you don't understand. Like, something's actually wrong.
Like, something paranormal's going on.
But they don't believe her because they think she's just trying to leave.
She's detoxing from drugs, even if she wasn't lying.
So she steals the car.
Yes.
And she's driving, but then she crashes it.
Because the demon is starting to, like...
chasing her, I guess. Chasing her. She's driving, she crashes it in a pond, she gets out of the pond, and there's this weird part where, like, a tree grabs onto her.
She gets caught in a bunch of thorn vines.
Yes.
And they're tangling her. It's pretty gnarly. They get around her throat. Yeah, I guess
the tree, like, inserts
like,
itself in her.
Well, okay, yeah, it's like the demon, like, releases, like, a slug vine from its mouth or something, and then it goes...
has to find a way.
It enters
in her, I guess.
into her body, is how I'm going to say it.
Sure.
Well, in the original...
whatever you're thinking by our description, you're probably right.
The original is worse. I think it's not... I kind of warned you about it.
Honestly, you did, because you did tell me about it ahead of time. It wasn't, like, super graphic or anything.
But yeah, Sam Raimi in the original, it's like a branch kind of just, like, really goes for it. It's not pleasant. A lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't think I would like that either.
Yeah.
I feel like this one, it was not... because you did warn me about that scene ahead of time, and it was not as bad as I was expecting it to be. But yeah.
I think he didn't even want to have it in the movie, but I think one of the producers or someone was like, well, it was in the original, so you need to put it in this.
Oh, for this movie?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they found a way to do it that was like...
not horrible. Probably horrible. Didn't need it.
Just creepy enough, you know? So, anyway, so then she's, like, passed out. They find her. They bring her back to the house, and they, like, lock her in a room, basically. And they're, like... They all kind of have to make a pact that, like, okay, we're not gonna let her out.
We're not letting her out. She's gone off the deep end.
We have to, like, help her with her drug addiction.
She crashed the car.
Oh, at this point... so, I guess she's back in the house. Boy, our main character... Boy, I don't...
we'll call him Boy.
He's so bored. Like, I don't know anything about him other than he's, like, her brother. Like, he wears, the most bland...
he wears, like, a blue shirt.
Him and his girlfriend are the most bland... Also, wait, just a side note.
Yeah?
The girlfriend, they, like, offhandedly say they've been dating for, like, 2 months.
I was telling you guys that. Did they say that in the movie?
I'm honestly not sure. Well, maybe you said that and then I took it as fact.
I don't know if it was from the director's commentary or whatever. I heard that and I was like, oh, they were dating for 2 months. So I was telling you guys that because I thought that was funny. That is so, oh my god, the way I would have killed my boyfriend. You bring your 2-month situationship
to
girlfriend.
Help your sister get rid of her drug addiction. Like, I feel like the only way that would be valid is like if she was a doctor or something, which she's not because we already have a doctor.
Why would you even agree to come to that?
That's actually a really good point.
Maybe that's not
what if she got tricked into it? What if he was like, oh, I have a cabin,
romantic getaway in the cabin.
And then she gets there and she's like, this is not, what's going on? Why is your sister on drugs?
Why is this woman screaming?
Really weird. Why
are there cats in the basement?
Why is there cats in the basement? Why does the guy with the glasses chanting incantations? What's going on here? Horrible weekend for her. She just
wants to experience her Christian girl autumn.
I know I'm making fun of Miss Pumpkin Spice, but like, she didn't deserve this.
She does not.
It's not
and
her
we'll
fault
get
that she
get
had a
into
boyfriend.
it. There's some stuff she didn't deserve. We'll get into it.
He finds the dead dog. Grandpa's dead.
Yes, the dog.
Yeah,
it's like it's like he's in a hole.
It's bad. He is like beaten, and so then our main boy, he gets really mad, and
because he's like, oh, Mia did it.
He thinks that because the doctor says something along the lines of like, okay, she's gonna try and do anything she can to get out of here, and she might do stuff that's like crazy just to get our attention. Yeah. So he thinks that she did it. So he goes in and he's really mad, but she's taking a shower. But there's some spooky stuff happening in the shower. Cause
like their page of the book is like,
oh yeah,
self-mutilation from scalding water.
Yeah. So there, all of a sudden, like a fire lights up in the shower. And
like in the boiler.
She's also like, she's showering, but like she's like not all there. Like
she's out of it.
She's very out of it.
She's in a shower with scalding hot water.
Yeah, it's bad. So then, because there's like literally a fire that's like making the water boiling, she gets really, really burned. Like, atrociously burned.
Yeah, really,
it's pretty gross.
Really badly burned.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good effect.
It is. It looks...
it looks like how it looks.
Yeah, it does. So she's really badly burned. They get her out.
David, or boy, takes her, and he's like, oh, okay, it's too far now. We got to get her to, like, an actual hospital. But he gets to the river.
Oh, yeah. I'm remembering this now, yes. Because the burns are so bad that they're like, this is beyond our control. They're like, we need actual doctors.
So they go to the...
Dumb doctor lady. This is the same treatment she be getting in the hospital. No,
I don't think a hospital would have let her...
boiled water burn her alive. Like,
this rundown cabin that was broken into has, like, shards of glass and cats in the basement. It's like a hospital. It's exactly like a hospital.
She's getting the same treatment. So, yeah, okay, I do remember this now.
And so they get to the river, but the river, it's, like, raining, so the river's, like, overrun.
It's been raining, like, the whole movie. So it's, like, flooded. So they're stuck. They have to stay at the cabin. They can't get out.
So they're all kind of like, okay, what do we do now? But then Mia comes into the living room with, like, a shotgun she found.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she shoots her brother.
Yeah, he's like,
I forgot about that.
Put the gun down. And she just does not give a fuck.
Yeah, no. Well, she's, like, something's
very
wrong.
Possessed.
Obviously.
At this point.
She also, like we said, the burns are disturbing. Like, she looks creepy. And she looks like she's possessed.
And so I think at this point, you know, however long the possession kind of took, it's, like, fully formed now. Because she's like, you will all die.
Yes, yeah.
She fully just says...
where she's like, you will all die tonight. And then
creepy.
It is.
You get some chills.
It's a little spooky. I was a little creeped out.
Okay. And
so then they're all kind of. Then they lock her in the basement, right?
Yeah, no, because then she
starts going
like vomiting.
Crazy.
She starts vomiting blood.
She vomits on pumpkin spice.
Not
right?
pumpkin spice. The nurse.
No, the doctor. Oh wait, no, you're sorry because that leads into the next part. Yes.
She vomits on the doctor.
Did you almost say nurse?
Yes.
You went doctor.
Doctor.
Wow. Is that how you do women,
2024.
Tyson?
It's 2024. I would never assume that she was a nurse.
Sure, whatever you say.
And so they vomits like buckets and buckets of blood onto doctor.
Like really, it's the same treatment as a hospital. It's like so much blood. She vomits so much blood.
And so they roll her over into the cellar door, and they kind of
that's like the only way they can kind of get her to calm down.
Get her, and then he's like, get her some tranquilizers, and she's like, no, I can't get her tranquilizers. It's enough to make a horse. Some. Yeah.
Oh. I do have to say, I think this was like a little while ago, but it was a really good scene, and it's like before she's possessed, but I forget the exact timing of it. I want to say it's after the tree thing happened, but before the boiling water, where she's like sitting in the bed.
Yes,
that was a scene where I was like, this girl's a great actress, because that was before she had any of the creepy makeup. Like she just looked scary, like because it's basically the scene where she's sitting with her brother and she's like
freaking
something
out.
Is wrong, you do not understand, like something terrible is happening,
and he's like,
and she looks terrifying in that scene, and it was just her. So props to the actress, because
she says
she killed that.
He's like, is it in the room with us right now? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, never mind, I'm just gonna leave because it's not. And she looks into the mirror in the room, and it's like the demon
like
form.
There, yeah. And he's like not buying.
Not good.
He still thinks that like, oh, she's just trying to get out.
Not good
for the dress thing. But
so that happened.
Sorry, I had to go back to that just because that
it was a good scene. It was a really good scene. There's a lot of really good moments in this movie.
And that was, I mean, obviously she's a great actress and she does well, like even with the makeup and stuff on. But like that was just genuinely just her.
Really good acting.
Yeah.
So they get her tranquilizers.
Yes. So she's been tranquilized at this point, but that's why the doctor didn't want to do it again.
But it's not working.
Because she's possessed. So
you
can't really tranquilize a demon.
No, because whatever you do to the body is not going to affect
the demon.
Right? We're getting to the good parts now.
No,
the really exciting.
Now we're getting into the gross stuff.
And so, okay. Anytime like something was about to happen, I would just like put my head in my hands, and I'd be like, oh. Just because I was like, I knew.
Tyson in advance would be like, sorry guys.
Yeah. I didn't know. I was so worried you guys were going to turn on me at some point in the movie.
I don't think I hated this the most out of everyone, though.
And so it.
So okay,
she goes to get the tranquilizers from the mirror,
right,
in the bathroom. She's all alone in this cabin bathroom, trying to find the tranquilizers, and she grabs them from the mirror. But she closes the mirror. Classic horror movie scare. She closes the mirror, and demon with like face cut off is staring back at her, and then the glass shatters.
The mirror shatters, and then I think this is another moment where the book's just like
the book is like showing like a picture of the like some ritual of like the demon cutting off its face or whatever, and so she's like, okay, I'm gonna get out of this room. But she gets halfway through the bedroom back into the living room, and the demon grabs her.
It's like she just
freezes,
stops moving, right?
And like has like mini seizure, and she like pees herself. Really yellow pee, by the way. Did you notice that?
I think.
Which I get. Okay.
Someone said, I forget who it was, but someone said, "Girl, drink some water."
I think it was Bailey.
I think it was Bailey.
But I understand why they did that. Because
if it was
I think
clear, then
you'd have to make it clear
the
that
yellow's
pee.
more visceral. Also because it's just like more gross.
However, more grounding that she's not a very good doctor. She's clearly not taking good care of her body.
Yeah. Well, just from the beginning, go. If your friend is having a drug addiction, go to like a facility, especially if you're a doctor. Like, I feel like that'd be the most doctor thing to be like, she should be in a professional place.
The reason, I guess we forgot to say this too.
This is, now I'm going on a tangent on another character that I hate. Like, not as bad as Four Eyes. I still hate him the most, as bad as far.
But the reason why they're going to this extreme measure is because in the past, she legally died. She OD'd and she legally died, and they had to resuscitate her.
But the guy, her brother didn't know that.
Her brother didn't know that because, like, the whole idea is that he's kind of a shitty brother.
Play back in?
Yes, we'll get into it.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess the end. Okay, I forgot that detail.
And so, I don't remember why Four Eyes goes into the bathroom after.
Well, because I think she's acting really strange. Or does she say something, or is he just... I think he's knocking on the door, and he's like...
yeah, because he's like, what's taking so long?
Hey, are you coming? And she's, like, not responding.
Crisis.
And since weird stuff's happening, it's kind of like, hey, like, are you coming? Are you good?
And he opens the door.
No.
And you like, I'll take care of this, and you can just chime in when you need to. And so you kind of hear this like squishing, kind of cutting sound. I'm just describing it for the people who haven't seen the movie, and you kind of start hearing this, and like the like for whatever reason like condensation is like hitting the light bulb, so it's like flickering. It's not blood; it's like water. Probably because it's storming outside.
Don't know if that's an important detail.
No, it is because it's flickering. So you can't see what's going on. And she's in the corner of the shower, and she's just cutting up.
Let's say she turns around,
cutting up her cheek like she's giving like a Glasgow smile, and like with the shard of glass from the mirror. And yeah, it's like terrible. And he's really like, gross. Why would you do that? What? Can you hear him say that?
That's like the logical question. What are you doing?
He's in shock. He's like in shock. Like if I saw somebody doing that, I'd be like, what?
So then she turns around with her face like,
yeah,
all happened in Joker.
Well, I mean, that's what he says he did in the Dark Knight. He says that's how he got the scars.
Oh yeah.
And so I guess that's what it actually looks like. And so
But she literally, like, her cheeks just... Oh, my God. Because he steps backwards, and then he slips on the piece of her cheek that's on the ground!
And he hits his back on, like, the toilet.
Oh, my God. It's so
back
gross.
on, like, the toilet, whatever the piece at the back of the toilet is.
Because she's,
like
cornering him now. Because she's also possessed.
And she grabs the tranquilizer syringe, and she's just going at his face.
Yeah.
And it's like, his glasses, he breaks through his glasses... Gets into his cheek, and he pulls the needle out of his cheek, and he's fighting back because she's trying to kill him. And he grabs the toilet.
I don't want to relive this.
The toilet lid, and he just smashes her head in. And at any point,
doesn't she stab him with like a glass piece?
Oh yeah, glass piece. Oh yes, because that.
I will say we hate him, and like you said earlier, the movie knows because they beat him up.
They beat him up any
he
time.
Gets destroyed.
There are so many parts in that scene where you think it's gonna end. And then
he continues to get beat up.
They keep getting him beat up. And you guys all thought he was dead. But no.
He lives. There's like 3 parts of this movie where I thought he was dead. But she dies, right?
Yeah, she dies because they smashed her head in.
Great.
So they...
Wonderful.
I think we're going to start getting events kind of twisted because it's kind of just a series of demon shenanigans. Of really
gross stuff.
And so they kind of...
I'm like looking over the synopsis again.
They bandage him up with duct tape. Get him some sugar water.
So he's getting better.
Wait, no. So they send Christian Girl Autumn to go and get sugar water for him.
Oh yeah, because they're like bandaging him up like in like the
because they're like okay,
shack
he's losing
or
blood.
something outside. They're like in like it's like a shed. And they're like, go get some water. Because Boy is patching up Four Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then Christian Girl Autumn, Pumpkin Spice, if you will.
Girlfriend, babe, go get sugar water at this drug detox date I took you on. and now there's demons.
I was gonna say I'd say no, but like I feel like I would not say no if someone's like bleeding out. I'd want to help, but
well, yeah. Like what? Like they're stuck in the situation now.
Poor Pumpkin Spice. By the way, I do love a pumpkin spice latte. I'm not being judgmental.
No, but she's just like, she looks like, 2013 era.
Exactly. Christian girl Autumn.
And
Very much.
so, what I think...
So she goes in, and then at this point, Mia in the cellar is
she's not chained into the cellar yet.
She's in the cellar, but they just kind of shoved her down there.
So the door's open.
She starts being like, oh my God, like, please
What's
help
happened?
me. Like, it's like really her and not the demon. Like, she's like, what's happening? Why am I down here? Like, please help me out.
Or the demon is...
Right, but we don't know.
Putting on the facade.
That's the thing. We don't know. And so poor Christian girl Autumn.
Because at this point, I don't think any of them think it's a demon.
No one really understands what's going on.
They think there's some kind of like psychotic episode. I guess in the moment, you're not really thinking what's causing this.
Well, but something clearly was wrong with the doctor.
He hasn't said that he's read the book yet.
No, he will. Dumbass.
I think they throw out a theory at one point that they think it might be a disease going through the cabin from like the dead cats.
Right.
You know, iconic disease.
Idiots.
We lived through a pandemic. Imagine if we lived through a pandemic and it was that.
Just let's get through this.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay, and so
having to relive this is.
And so
So Christian girl Autumn's like, oh my God, I want to help.
And so she goes down the cellar stairs.
She goes down the cellar stairs, but you see that there's like box cutters.
Yeah, no, she grabs a box cutter because she turns around and
Mia has them.
Yeah, Mia turns around and she's actually a demon. She's not. She's just joking with her.
Yeah, right. And so then she starts messing with her. Oh! Oh,
okay,
no.
Okay.
So she...
Great moment.
First of all,
cinematic moment in history. Bites her in like the...
on her hand.
In like the little area between your thumb and your pointer finger.
I hate the word crevice. I don't know why I just said that.
And
anyway.
So that hurts. And then I think Christian Girl Autumn then gets the box cutter to defend herself, and she sticks it all the way up the box cutter, like it's like
she opens it. I thought you were saying she stuck it in Mia.
No, and then Mia is just like okay, and licks the box, and it separates her tongue. And
she licks it, but you think she's gonna lick it, but then she like actually just cuts her tongue in two.
That's what would happen if you licked it.
Well, I mean, but you could like lick it like
me on a Friday night. I don't know. Me when the boys get together and we lick box cutters.
But just like, I don't know, like for a second it almost seemed like it was gonna be like seductively like.
Well, yeah, I think I think the demon's kind of fucking with her.
When it's like messy, yeah.
And she's like the demon's like kissing up her leg.
But like she like literally, yeah, because she does, and then she like makes out, quote unquote.
Okay, you're getting made out with a demon who just like bloodied and like
the tongue is in two. It's
and like snakified your tongue, yeah. You know, some people do that. Some people like
get
that body.
No, that's so
modification.
Disturbing. No offense to those people.
You think it hurts?
You do what
you think
do.
they numb your tongue?
There's
when you do that?
no way that it doesn't hurt.
They have to numb your tongue.
Even if they numb it when they do it, I feel like afterwards.
Do you think you could control?
That's so why?
Do you think you could control each side independently? You would have to, because then why would I do?
So...
I want to think about it.
I don't. That grossed me out so. Oh my god.
Okay, and so David.
Oh my. There's so much blood too because she literally just cut her tongue in half.
And so David grabs her.
So yeah, no. The boy
cellar.
finally comes back. Thank God, doing something.
And
save
Mia,
her girlfriend.
Mia
on this horror trip.
And you know they're having their sibling or dating vibe. And Mia says, "Let me come down here and let me suck your cock, pretty boy."
Which actually I laughed because that's just one of those moments that's just like so out of nowhere that you're like, what did she say?
The demon's being crazy. The demon's funny. It's thinking it's doing stand up.
The demon's having fun. No one else is. I wasn't.
That's what I think I also like.
Although
about
I did laugh at that one line because I was just shocked that was said.
I really like horror movies where the antagonist or the villain. I like Nightmare on Elm Street because Freddy Krueger's kind of the same way. It's just
I
like
actually do like that movie.
They're very into the fact that they're evil.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if you're like from hell, if you're a demon from hell,
you probably would embrace that side of yourself.
Yeah, because you love chaos and torture and stuff. Not that I think it is like Christian hell. You know, I don't think they ever specify. I don't think there's anything that like.
It's not. Yeah.
It's just like.
It's not specified.
Whatever the hell is in that world.
It's just a demon. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What happens after this? They grab her out of the cellar. So
he gets her out, and then I think he just literally goes back to help Four Eyes again. But then Four Eyes is like, "Hey, dude, like." I have something to tell you.
Dude, I got some crazy shit to tell you.
I have something to tell you. I think I know what's going on here.
Don't be mad at me.
I kind of opened up a demon book. Oops, sorry. It's gonna take 5 souls. And then...
Oh, yes, he reads that it's like, he thinks there's gonna be 5 souls it's gonna take.
And then it's gonna release,
or the abomination.
The abomination, yes.
Or, like, the main demon from hell.
Will rise
and come out of the ground.
Right.
Also, the picture in the book of this demon, I don't know. Not that scary. Not the one where it's coming out of the ground, but he points to like a different one where it's just like a black silhouette with like a candle on its head. Why has he got the candle on his head?
I just feel like it's because it's like supposed to be mysterious, which is like it's the unknown.
I wonder if that's a thing
scary,
from like some kind of like culture or religion where it's like the demon wears candles. I don't know. The candle on its head like just kind of silly because it kind of looked like a cupcake. or like a piece of cake. I don't know.
I honestly don't remember the image.
I remember because I've seen this movie like 7 times. But
right. So anyway, I'm reading the synopsis. Apparently, Four Eyes' real name is Eric.
Okay. Yes.
I'm still calling him Four Eyes because I don't like him. We're both wearing glasses right now.
Yeah. If anything,
he wears them poorly.
I'm wearing nearly identical glasses to the ones he was wearing. Like what the wireframe.
Well, that's unfortunate on your part. I don't know what to tell you.
That's why I identified with him.
You don't look as creepy as he does.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
At least usually. But
okay, yeah. What's the next demon shenanigan that happens after that?
So yeah, he's talking to Boy and he's like, yeah, I think I might have unleashed a demon. Oops. While that's happening though, we've left Pumpkin Spice alone again. So
Wait, no, they didn't just leave Pumpkin Spice alone. Surely something between that happened, right? I don't remember.
Listen, I don't remember. I'm going based off my memory and based off the synopsis I have in front of me, and there's nothing else there. But anyway, so if you remember, Pumpkin Spice got bit in the hand.
Yes.
By Mia.
Yes. She goes to the sink to like wash it out.
Yeah, it's like she starts washing it and then like stuff's coming out of it.
Yeah, just like black bile, goo.
Yeah.
You guys thought it was teeth.
I thought it was teeth at first, and then more and more kept coming out.
I listened to the director's commentary. He said originally it was going to be like a worm.
So all this gross stuff's coming out, and then like the rash, I guess, I don't know, it starts to spread, and so her whole
like
hand
the demon
starts to
infection
get really
on her
gross.
arm.
Yes, demon infection, that's a good way to describe it. So it starts spreading up her hand, and so she starts freaking out because she's like, oh my god, like what am I gonna do?
And Mia, who's now chained in the cellar, they chained her up in the cellar.
This
after
is a little creepy. Yeah,
she's sticking her head kind of through like the little creek in the cellar.
It is a little creepy,
and she's like, don't cut your arm off. She's like, don't cut it off. And there's an electric carver.
Don't do it. And she has like a demon voice at that point too. So
there's like an electric carver right next to Pumpkin Spice.
To be fair, I don't think that was Pumpkin Spice's first move.
No.
I think she was trying to wash it off, and she like starts panicking. And then I think she realizes that this is her only option. I know. Is to cut off her hand.
I think it's so funny that the demon was like, don't cut it off. But it's laughing. So like it clearly knows it's not going to work. And it doesn't work. Not to spoil it. But like...
Well, she cuts off her arm.
She cuts off her arm. We're getting into my favorite. We're getting to my favorite part. We're getting to my favorite part. We're getting to my favorite part.
She cuts off her arm. Like,
she cuts off her arm
right on her elbow, and then.
Okay, and then wait, and then we go away from her for a second, and then Boy and Four Eyes come in there like, oh, we left my girlfriend alone again.
Yeah,
and they come in.
Oh my god, the way I would actually, you know what? I don't blame her for becoming a demon and then trying to kill her boyfriend, because that's what I would do too. They
walk in and they see her and she's like, oh, I feel much better now. And her arm is like hanging on.
It's hanging by like a single tendon. It is maybe
the
grossest
off.
like frame.
Dude,
like
the first time I saw that, I was like, ugh.
That is so you were revving up for it when we were watching. You were like, you guys are you guys ready for this? You guys ready for this? And that was, oh my god, so yeah, no, her arm literally hanging on by like a single tendon and like slowly slides off.
It's that, I don't like thinking about that one.
It is so gross.
Dude went for it. Fede Alvarez. Props to him as the director. He's doing Alien Romulus, which is the new one that's coming out.
You guys keep talking about that.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be this, but like with Alien.
The trailer. I like Alien though, but I don't want to
it's not gonna be like, I don't think it's gonna be gory in this way. I think it's gonna be more of like the body horror kind of aspects of Alien, where it's like parasites inside of you and stuff. Maybe, I don't know.
I actually do like Alien though. Okay, so her arm falls off.
Okay,
and so like we were saying, Mia's sitting there laughing the whole time, being like,
she's like, aha.
So of course it doesn't actually work, and the demon infection still spreads.
And
she's now possessed.
She grabs a nail gun.
That
they were using to repair the cabin.
She just starts shooting at the boy in Four Eyes. She is
mainly
shooting those nail
guns. Mainly Four Eyes.
Good, honestly.
Four Eyes gets like he's like hand stuck to
his hand gets stuck to his chest because it's like
the
nailed down
going through. By the way,
very
fun.
Make him not be able to use his hands, so he can't do any more problems, do any more stupid
things. So after that, and he's still alive, she grabs a crowbar. And she just starts whacking at Four Eyes, and she like splits his hand.
What's his hand? I don't remember this.
No, there's like a shot where like her
I do
pinky
remember,
and her
like,
ring
the
finger,
hand is,
or
like,
his pinky
really
and ring
just,
finger,
like, messed up.
yeah,
I do kind of remember
the space
that.
between the middle finger and the ring finger, and like the crowbar like dents one side away. Really
right.
good moment.
Meanwhile,
really good moment.
David grabs a gun. Our main character, main boy, he grabs a gun and he shoots her other arm off.
Oh yeah, the shotgun.
And then she dies.
Oh no! And then the demon releases her.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, no, because then she's like, "Oh, wait, what's going on?" It's not clear if the demon
It's just
is like
a really creepy shot where she has no arms and there's like so much blood coming off of her.
and
it's
like it's
all
not
right.
clear if the demon is like fucking with him, but I don't think because she doesn't come back to life after this.
Yeah, pumpkin
but
spice is done.
She's like, "Oh,
Honestly,
why does my face
she
hurt?"
didn't deserve that. She did. Does she? She doesn't have a personality, but she didn't do anything wrong. She was just her
No.
boyfriend dragged her on a trip, and she was just trying to be helpful. Justice for pumpkin spice.
The boyfriend's
She
not
just wanted her
at the
Christian
beginning of this
autumn.
movie. The boyfriend's maybe not a great dude, but that's his arc. That's where we're going. That he's going to become a good dude at the end.
All right, that's debatable, but
And then
now they kind of have like a plan because you know what? Because while Four Eyes is explaining like, I accidentally opened the book. Like,
yeah,
oops,
whoopsies.
oopsies, my bad. He also explains that in the book there is 3 ways to get rid of the demon.
Okay.
Either burn alive, which
Yep.
we saw at
Which
the
we
beginning
saw
of
at
the
the
movie,
opening.
dismemberment,
Which is what they did in the original. It was only dismemberment for the most part.
or getting buried alive. What is the correlation? Like, those seem like 3 random ways. It seemed like they wanted to include a burning scene and a dismemberment scene and a buried alive scene, so then they just made that the rules of the movie.
You know what? I guarantee you what happened is they needed the opening scene. They were like, okay, what's a quick way we can do this that's creepy and not necessarily going to spoil the rest of the movie?
Burn her alive.
Let's burn her like a witch at the stake. And then the burial, it kind of goes into her like overdosing and then recitating. It's like an allegory for that. So when we'll get into it at the end of the movie.
Sure.
So he explains that, and so I guess that's what they think. But he's like, the boy is like, wait, I'm still not sure if I want to do this.
So at this point, Four Eyes is still alive, unfortunately.
Somehow.
But he's like barely holding on. Boy puts him out by the car and is like, I'm gonna take care of this, and then I'm gonna get you to a hospital.
He says a line that I don't like here. He's like,
Oh.
yeah, I think we were talking over it, but he's like, oh, I'm not scared of dying. I just don't want to become the devil's bitch. It's like, oh, right, shut up, dude. That's not like you think that was a badass line?
I hate him.
I love him. I think he's great.
I hate him so much. He's he's just like that classic horror movie character that's like, if you weren't such a dumbass, none of this would happen.
But he doesn't know he's in a horror movie. That's the thing.
He goes out of his way to read the incantation out loud. It's literally scribbled out and he has to like do the little etching thing to figure out what it says. Like, he could have just like not done that. I don't know. Just been like, oh man, somebody really didn't want me to read this. Maybe I'll just close the book and help and focus on helping my friend kick her drug addiction. I don't know.
What do you think they said when we went to the moon? Do you think Neil Armstrong was like, man?
What are you talking about? That is a crazy comparison.
No. He's in it for the pursuit.
the moon?
He's in it for the pursuit. Let me talk. Let me speak. So we do it in the pursuit of science, right? Man was not meant to go to the moon. We are on Earth. We are not on the moon. So it would be madman, anyone to think if we were to go to the moon, right? So what if Neil Armstrong, when he got on the...
You're struggling so much.
Neil Armstrong, when he got on the rocket, he was pretty much doing the etching. We disobeyed everything telling us gravity, atmosphere.
But you know what the difference is? No one died.
No oxygen.
Actually, people have died trying to go to the moon, but no one
A lot
died.
of people have
no
died.
one died in that scenario. Okay.
Big Bird was almost on the Challenger explosion.
If you even believe that we went to the moon,
another great connection.
if we did.
If you even believe in demons.
I do think we went to the moon. But
I don't think anybody genuinely doesn't think we went to the moon.
there are absolutely people who believe that.
We might have. I actually don't know.
I personally think
probably
we did, but
did,
there
right?
are 100% people that do not believe.
We have. What are we talking about?
There was a MythBusters episode about that. Though.
So no, but another great
they said we
connection. Another great connection because it's like he may or may not even believe in witchcraft.
Listen, I don't know where I stand on ghosts and demons, okay? But like, if I found a book that was clearly demonic,
How is a book gonna hurt you?
Maybe if you read the words out loud and then a demon comes to get you. What do you mean? It happened in the movie.
Okay, listen. All I'm saying is that maybe in the book, it has a couple warnings, right? It has the don't open this, don't read this, and then it has don't write it, don't think it, don't say it. Maybe it should just say
he intentionally does all of those things. I don't know. Maybe because there's already drawings in the book of demons and them getting burned and boiling people and shooting people. Not shooting people. I don't think that was the thing in the book. But
again, like I said,
whatever.
Pursuit of science.
Anyway, we need to move forward with the plot of this movie. We're getting too stuck on how dumb Four Eyes is.
This is like when Oppenheimer created the atomic bomb.
This is nothing like that.
Well, I'm saying it's a bad result of trying to innovate. You know what I mean?
What was he trying to innovate?
Warfare, I guess.
Here's the thing with Oppenheimer is Oppenheimer was I'm not gonna sit here and defend Oppenheimer, but like Oppenheimer and let's go back to Neil Armstrong actually.
Okay.
Neil Armstrong wanted to like do something for like the pursuit of science, okay,
yes.
to better mankind.
I don't even think Neil Armstrong like had anything to do with like the actual science part. I think they just put him on the rocket.
I mean, he was like.
Okay, NASA.
Right?
NASA.
NASA, whatever. For the betterment of humankind. And that's their goal, right? Is to study space, right?
Yes.
This guy's goal should have been to help his friend get rid of her drug addiction. So why is he reading demon books, be like, oh, I'm going on a little side quest? No. Anyway.
I don't know. A lot of downtime in the cabin.
We're getting too stuck on this, and there's more movie left. Okay. And too much of this podcast is just going to be us arguing about this stupid character.
Okay, yeah, I forgot. I've like completely lost track
of it. So he puts Four Eyes out, and he's like, I'm going to take care of this. So he douses the house in gasoline. And he's going to burn it, but instead, last minute, he's like, I can't kill Mia. Because really the only way to go about this is like, you have to kill Mia. And he's like, I don't want to kill my sister. Like, yes. I have been a really bad brother.
I wasn't there for her.
I haven't been there for her. Like, I need to not kill her. Like, I need to figure out how I can save her without killing her. So.
And he hatches a little plan.
He decides he's going to bury her and then resuscitate her. So he makes this little makeshift defibrillator kind of. Using, which honestly... Where were his brains the whole movie? Because that was kind of impressive.
No, yeah, I guess he kind of MacGyvers this out of nowhere.
Because that was how
he grabs like a car battery and like I would not have been able to.
That was I wouldn't know how to make a defibrillator just out of nowhere. So kind of crazy. But anyway, he builds this thing, and then he goes and he buries her. I don't think I'm skipping anything important. No, yeah, I am.
What?
When he goes to get her out of the basement.
Oh, yes.
And he can't find her. So then he's having to walk around the basement, which is creepy.
Yeah, in the flooded basement. It's
dark and it's flooded because it's been raining.
And then, well, obviously she's like hiding in a corner or something, and she grabs it and she starts to drown him. But Four Eyes comes down and he saves his life. Redemption for this character.
I don't know if it's written enough, but he does save the main boy's life.
And then he dies from his injuries.
Thank God. And it's about time.
And he kind of just lays him in the water. He kind of just puts him.
That was the other weird thing. He literally just like puts him.
Also, dude, you know he's gonna come back as a demon. Like he didn't do anything to stop that.
Yeah, he could have killed him.
Anyway, so he goes and
so he has Mia now, who's passed out. I don't know how did they get her to chill? Oh,
tranquilizer. No, I think, or they just knocked her. Not important.
She is knocked out. And then I know he puts a bag over her head. He starts burying her alive. He puts her in a dress for some reason.
Maybe that's part of the ritual. But she needed a final girl outfit.
I don't think so. No, I think that's why. I think
she needed a cool, iconic outfit.
She needed to look really cool. People need to be able to have a Halloween costume out of this movie. And I
like the color of red throughout the years.
So he puts her in a red dress and he starts to bury her. And so as he's burying her, she wakes up and she starts doing that whole little thing where she's like, why are you doing this?
And then he's like, he doesn't buy it at all. And she's like, okay. And she starts to kind of like prod at like their relationship problems.
Yeah.
And he's like, are we siblings or are we dating?
That's what he wants to know.
He's
like, pumpkin spice diet, I'm free now. Like,
and so then he's like,
so I'm not gonna. Her.
He kind of is like the completion of his arc. He's like, I'm gonna be here for her.
Our tree catches on fire, right? And then so
it's not really relevant.
Well, he finishes burying her, and then there's like a bunch of shaking in the ground, and then the tree goes out, and that signals to him like, oh, the demon's dead. So then he tries to get her out. He digs her back up again, and then he does the defibrillator thing, and it seems like it's not gonna work at first. But it does.
And then it does. And then
she wakes
all
up.
her injuries are magically healed.
Yeah, she looks beautiful now. Like,
Which, okay.
It's great. I feel like
I understand why. However,
I understand that she's not possessed by a demon
there's
anymore,
not
but
even-
like, there's no way that the burns would have healed.
the burns wouldn't have healed, and her tongue probably would have still been split.
Maybe that's for the best. That wasn't.
Maybe her tongue is still split.
Maybe, yeah, I guess we don't really. She's not.
But I'm
sticking
gonna
out her
guess
tongue or
not
anything.
if her... I guess the demon took all the injuries with him when he left.
I guess so.
And so...
She needed to look like a baddie for the final girl.
And so
moment.
they get ready and they're about to leave.
So she's like, "Oh my god, you saved me. We did it. We're so happy. Let's go make out in the woods."
But he's like, "Okay, 1 second." And he goes inside.
He needs to get the car keys.
And guess who's in there waiting for him?
Four Eyes.
Four Eyes comes back.
He's back.
Four Eyes comes back as a demon. Because of course he did.
Because of course they couldn't give him a good ending. Because, like, oh, you're going to give him a hero's ending? No, he's been the cause of every single problem in this movie.
So of course he's going to be possessed. Because maybe someone should have been more proactive about, like, burning the dead body of your friend.
Right. So now, if we remember, the protagonist, he doused the house in gasoline. Because originally he was going to burn Mia. But now the house is still doused in gasoline. He lights it on fire, killing both him and the
As, like, a
demon.
sacrifice. He's like, get away. So... hero's death for him.
Here's it for the protagonist. Yeah,
and now we're left with the sister.
He wasn't that bad. Bringing his girlfriend was bad.
He's left with Mia, or we're left with Mia.
We're left with Mia. She's.
However,
alone. Do you think that the movie is over and that she's won?
Well, I know.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Well, okay. So technically, if you count Mia, that's 5 souls that the demon got.
Right, and if you remember from earlier, if the demon gets 5 souls, then the abomination is released. And so the sky starts raining blood, and it's sick as fuck. It actually is pretty cool. And it was cool. This like naked, genitalless, like no, like I say it because it's just like a slimy, slithery. It reminded me of the thing in Barbarian, except the mother. Yeah. Except you're right. I think it was kind of genderless in this. But it was kind of like a similar shape vibe. It's like an androgynous, like no really features, skinny, skeletonish. But it kind of looks like Mia, and she because it's poetic. Yeah, a little bit. I don't think it does, but okay. Is it supposed to? I felt like it was supposed to. I felt like it looked like. Maybe they don't. Anyway, so... I feel like it's a little mean to her. No, it's supposed to be like the dark, like deformed version of her. Of her. Because she's fighting her drug addiction. That's what this is a metaphor for. I don't think I was thinking about metaphors at any point during this movie. I think I was covering my eyes and screaming. That's why this movie is great, because it's deeper than just... I don't know. It's a pretty good take on like drug addiction and like detox. However... And incest. However, yes. So it comes out of the ground... And she starts, giving it the runaround. She has to figure out, like... She's trying to run away. It's going after her. And it throws the Jeep over onto her arm. Oh, yeah. Well, when does she get... She gets a chainsaw at some point. No, yeah, well, I don't know if this happens before... No, this did happen before. Doesn't she get the chainsaw? So she runs back into the shed, and she kind of gets into the wall of the shed. Because this is the part that actually got a lot of people... You guys screamed at. She gets in the wall. She gets into like a crawl space in the shed, and the demon, the abomination, grabs a machete, and it starts. Oh my god! It starts. That did get me. Oh my god, that was really gross. It starts like, because like it's hitting through like the wood panels, and it hits her like the skin right above precisely above the knee, right above your knee and your thigh. Oh my god! I mean, it wasn't even that deep of a cut. That is like the equivalent of the arm thing earlier. I think the arm thing might have been more visceral, but like that's also like because here's the thing. I think with a moment like that, it's like when you have like the nail gun and like craziness and she's cutting her cheek off, like that's all crazy and horrible and everything. Yes. But like there's something about that part of your leg that like everybody's been scraped there before. Like that's like a visceral thing that I feel like you could like imagine that happening. Yes, this is why Evil Dead like is a great franchise, because a lot of the gore is like this, where it's so like specific. And it's not that bad. In the original, they kind of stick a pencil into, like, your Achilles area. And I think the more specific and even minute the gore... Like, I'm going to say this to you, and you're going to give me a reaction. Imagine, like, pulling off a hangnail all the way down your hand. It's very small, it's very specific, but it's good gore for content. Because I think it's a good lesson for anybody trying to write horror. Okay.
Anyway, so
So,
she gets a
yeah,
chainsaw out of the shed.
That honestly wasn't even an important moment. It was just
But it's a good moment.
we all screamed.
It's another great gore moment.
And then you're right. Then she goes out, and the thing pushes her
Jeep over onto
the Jeep, or the car, whatever, onto her hand. It hits her hand, and so her arm is stuck under the Jeep.
And so she has to, like, the demon's coming around the car now, and she has to, like, she can't reach the chainsaw.
She's like,
it's just out of reach.
It's just out of reach.
And it's slippery because everything's covered in blood.
Because because it's still raining blood this whole time. And the car is on her hand, so she can't move. And the demon thing is coming at her.
And
another like hand getting ripped off scene.
Yeah, she pulls her hand off.
She finds the inner strength because it's the only way that she'll be able to beat the demon.
Yeah.
And she pulls her hand out and literally rips her hand off.
And so she finally
gross.
She gets the chainsaw.
Because you see all the tendons and everything.
She gets the chainsaw, and what does the demon say? They do one of those like classic cheesy like action lines here.
I don't know. I don't think I was focused on any words being said at this point.
I think she's like, it's like, I will devour your soul, and then she says, "Devour this motherfucker." And she takes the chainsaw.
Sick, actually, yeah, something like that.
She chainsaws her straight down the middle.
Actually, so real. I might have had my eyes closed.
At this point, this is like the big moment. She's standing in front of a burning cabin in front of her. It's raining blood, and she's taking this chainsaw, and she is
just like straight
going straight down the middle of the demon, and that solves it. That kills the demon.
And that actually is the ending.
The demon slinks back into the ground, and she walks off into the night. There's like a
and there's like a little
scene. Yeah.
Well, we'll say it shows the book that's like still there, and it's like, okay, you gotta leave room for the sequels, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a cool shot, the book closing.
Sure.
Anyway, she walks away and leaves, and there's like a little mid-credit scene where she gets picked up by a hitchhiker, and you think she might be possessed, but she's still fine.
But she's okay.
Which I didn't even know that scene was in the movie. I'd never seen that.
I do. I for a while I was like, oh, the guy's the protagonist. Like, we're not gonna get a final girl in this, but we did.
We did.
So loved that.
I think it's because if you were an Evil Dead head, Ash Williams, the main character of the first three, is such an iconic and loved character. I think they knew that there was no way that they could have like remade him, and so I think it's somewhat of a fake out. Because you expect the main guy to kind of be like the stand-in for him. Mm-hmm. But no, it's Mia kind of ends up taking the Ash sort of role. It's
kind of nice at the end, too, because, like I said, I was like, I feel like I don't know anything about the guy. Like, I don't care about him at the end of the movie. And I actually do care about her. Yeah. Especially when she finds out she's live. It's like, oh, wow, like, she did it. So that is kind of nice.
So, that was it. What did you think about it overall?
I'm never watching this again.
You're never watching it again.
Okay, like, listen, I'll be totally honest. It's not a bad movie at all. Like, I get it. I get why it's a big deal. I get why you like it so much. It's one of those movies I'm like, it's not for me. I'm never going to watch this again, but I respect it.
If they were singing Disco Queen.
Dancing Queen?
Fuck.
If they were singing... It's like Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd's good. If they were singing ABBA, would that...
like the equivalent.
Would that improve the movie for you?
I don't know how that would
It would feel out of place.
Work.
I think it would feel out of place.
I probably would enjoy it, actually. But I feel like it would not really work.
I think there's an Evil Dead musical.
There probably is. They make musicals for everything now. That's another, that goes all the way back to the Inside Out 2 conversation earlier. Well, not everything needs to be a musical.
I kind of expected everyone to not like it. But then
it was
well
received.
Yeah, like I got a pretty good reception. Everybody was like, "Oh, that was good. That was fun."
I mean, here's the thing. I feel like with horror movies like this, like it's fun to watch it with a group of people, and that's what we did. We watched it with our roommates, and it was fun to sit and like all scream at the TV together and cover our eyes. Me and Bailey are like holding each other. Like it's great.
That's the kind of
it's really fun.
The power of cinema.
I would never seek this out personally.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever want to watch it again.
Would you watch Evil Dead Rise, the semi-sequel to this?
I mean, I would not seek it out on my own. If you make me watch it, then I'll watch it.
We'll see. Maybe at the end of the summer.
I get it. You know, it's kind of. I feel like it's similar for the Mamma Mia for you. Like, I'm like, it's not my thing, but I don't think it was bad by any means. I think it was very well made. And
I guess you're right. I was about to say
overall a good movie.
I could foresee myself watching Mamma Mia again, though. You know?
I feel like the only way I would watch this again is if I was with a group of people and
If
someone
you
was
were
like,
being,
let's turn
if
this
you were
on.
being forced to,
And
you
then
were,
I'd be like,
you were
okay.
chained to a chair and forced to watch it.
That's a little dramatic. I don't know. If I was with a group of people and they wanted to watch this, I would. But I don't think I would personally ever suggest this movie or seek it out on my own.
Of course I love
That's
the
where
movie, and it influences a lot of what I write in, the screenplays I wrote and the screenplay I wrote for the class we were in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's
gory stuff.
Yeah, really gory. I think it's strong. I like its bravado, is how I like to say it. So, what movie are we gonna watch next week? It's your turn. You're gonna make me watch me. You're gonna make me watch.
Oh, one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
We are gonna watch Clueless. Tyson, what do you know about Clueless?
Not much. I know Paul Rudd is in it.
Paul Rudd is in it.
And that's about all I know. And then I also know there's like an Iggy Azalea music video that's like a...
Yes, so that came out like 20 years after the movie, so
yes.
it's kind of unrelated.
No, I know, but it's like a...
That's an homage to the movie.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Iggy is... There will not be any Iggy Azalea.
What do you think Iggy Azalea is doing these days? Does she have any more songs other than that one?
I don't know. Her time
not relevant?
Her time was 2014. It's not relevant.
Hey, you know what? Who's also in that song though? Charlie XCX,
and she is relevant.
And it's currently Brat Summer.
Her new album. Yeah, it is Brat Summer. Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I love Charlie XCX. But anyway, yeah, no, none of that. Clueless was made in the 90s, so you're not going to get to see Iggy Azalea and Charlie XCX, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to watch it.
It's going to be great.
I imagine it'll be less intense.
A high school romance. It's great. High school comedy romance. It's funny.
It's one of the classics I haven't seen. I feel like I need to see.
If you remember the first episode, it's in my top 4.
Is it? Yeah,
although, I said it was. I will say it was in 4th place. My 4th spot tends to rotate. But it is definitely among my favorite movies ever.
All right. So I guess that's about the show. If you want to reach out to us, you can at shutupandwatchpod@gmail.com. Connect with us on our Instagram at shutupandwatchpod. Or we have technically a website, which I am on the task of making the ugliest website possible. Is what I've decided. It's
Tyson
Comic Sans.
Is in charge of the website.
I updated it today. It's bright yellow and bright purple.
Meanwhile, I'm like working hard to make our Instagram presence nice, but...
Well, no, because you go on the website and it just like assaults the senses. You're like, did a child make this? And yes, a child did make it.
Because that will attract listeners and...
They're gonna love it.
We're gonna be so successful that way by scaring people away.
They're gonna click on the website and they're gonna be like, oh, ha 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 ha, it's Comic Sans. Anyway, thank you to Ronan for editing the podcast, Bailey Johnson for making our logo. If you like what we're doing here, make sure you give our podcast 5 stars or leave a positive review on the podcast platform you're listening to. And did you know, Kristina, if you share this podcast with a friend, you actually get your deepest wish granted.
What?
You do. $1 million?
That's crazy.
A harem of women,
wish
perhaps.
Was honestly to live on a Greek island and sing ABBA songs all day, but...
Well, I don't think it works for us because we're doing the podcast.
We don't get to share.
But if you, the listener, share this with someone you think would like it...
Well, then maybe someone else can wish that for me.
That would work. That would technically be a loophole.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. I feel like I
know.
I've been telling people to share, but now I really need to tell people to share.
Because
That's big news.
Because this hot closet that we're recording the podcast in was actually enchanted by a genie.
And that's why there's a weird gap in the ceiling.
We'll get into that another episode.
We'll get into the barbarian episode.
Okay. All right.
All right.
We gotta sign off. Done here. I'm done here.
We gotta get out of this closet.
Okay.
It's
Goodbye.
okay, Tyson. You can come out of the closet.
See. All right. See us next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. I'm waving.
We're waving.